I don't need a job. I don't need a paycheck. Savers are losers. Welcome back to the Samuna KC vlog. My name is Samuna KC, and if you want to watch a long form content, longer video, longer blogs on personal branding, business, then you want to go to www.samunakc.com and also listen to the Samuna KC Podcast. As you have heard, in today's video we're going to talk about Robert Kiyosaki and what he has not told us in his books. If you have read Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I have read all the series in the Rich Dad Poor Dad series, and it has helped me to build my business, my personal finances, and a lot of my self-development has to do with those books. And I'm sure yours too. If you have read the book, you understand it's full of wisdom on personal finance and the way you want to operate your business. But then recently I have realized there are a few things Robert Kiyosaki does not share in his book, and it's very important in the field of business and personal finances, and we're going to talk about two of those things in this video today. The first thing Robert Kiyosaki says in the book, throughout all his books, that he does not need a job, he won't do any job. But what we should read in the book, what we read in the book, that he was into army. He did his full service, and then he was retired, and then he got into the entrepreneurship. And while he was doing entrepreneurship, he might be getting all the pensions from his earlier service, and that must have helped me in the initial phases of his entrepreneurial journey. That's what he never shares in his book. And why I'm sharing this right now, because a lot of us reading those books, we jump into entrepreneurship and then we fail and we have nothing to fall back into. Even the creative entrepreneurs, even when we come out from the house to become a filmmaker or an actor, we just jump into the craft, we jump into our passion. That's only natural. But then we have no financial backup to fall into. So if you have a job on site, any job, just be humble, and any kind of a job, some cash flow. That's another key word in all the Robert Kiyosaki book. You need to have some kind of a cash flow in your personal life, not only in the business. So doing a job on side while you are building your business is so important. That's give you a runway. That's give you a backup to fall into. If your business does not work, and then 9 out of 10 businesses fails. So when your business fails, you have something to fall into, and you always need that backup for your food, shelter, and clothes at least. So this is one thing Robert Kiyosaki never says in his book. There's one more thing he keeps saying: savers are losers, savers are losers. And that's how we get the message that we should not save money, and we always need to invest in the market and make our money work for us. That's true. That's absolutely true. I have nothing against that. But what I have realized in the beginning of this pandemic, when the pandemic hit and then everything was shut down, we were locked down into our house, I was almost freaked out and said, like, I have no savings to fall back into, because I have some money invested in the market, I have spent it in different kind of a business venture, and I have nothing to fall back into. Then that's when I have learned about this term, emergency funding, where you need to have at least 3 to 6 months of money saved in your bank, even when you don't have your job or something. This kind of a pandemic hit, you need to have something to fall back into again. It's the same thing. You need to have some cash saved so that you can feel secure in the environment like this when you cannot go to work, and if you are not getting any kind of a help from the government, if you are not in the country where your government is very efficient to help you in this kind of situation, you need to have that emergency fund to help you in this kind of a situation. So what I have learned from this pandemic is I first need to have some amount to take care of my emergency spending. Maybe if I drive, then my car may broke, I may get into some accident. That's when I need to have some cash set aside that I can access immediately. Then I need to have some kind of a saving off of what I can live for at least 3 to 6 months. Once I have this, only then I will go ahead and invest my money into the share market or a different kind of a business. That does not mean I will not do anything before I have that kind of a saving, but I need to have that thing in my back of my mind that I need to have that kind of a security blanket before I venture out into the world. There is this analogy that just came to me when I was thinking about this topic, when I was preparing for this video. I started into a business. I did good for a few months, and then again I failed, and I'm back to the square one. And again I start a business and I failed, and I'm back to the square one. I was wondering why this was happening to me, why I am coming back to the square one all the time. And there is one analogy where a lot of entrepreneurs use this, jumping out of the plane, and we have our parachute and we hope our parachute to open before we land on the ground. What I realized was I never had a strong parachute before I jumped out of the plane. Working on that background, working on that fund to fall back into is very important for the success of the business, success of the creative endeavor. Because if we depend on that art, on that business to take care of our livelihood, then we only harm that business, because we'll start working for money only, not for the creativity, or not to scale the business. All the books in the Rich Dad Poor Dad series, and still through the Rich Dad Radio, Robert Kiyosaki is giving a lot of knowledge, and recently I have read his book Fake, and from that I have got a very golden piece of wisdom that says if you want to be fulfilled, do what God wants you to do, and if you want to be rich, then do what government wants you to do. But then there are always a chance, always a space to think critically about any topic, any subject, any book. And if you are able to think critically about a method, any technique, then that's where you can come up with a creative idea, something of your own. Thank you so much for watching the video. If you are agree to these points, then type agree in the comment. If you are disagree, type disagree in the comment, and like the video, share it with your friends and family. And I'll see you in the next week, another video. And for watching the video until the end, there is a bonus. There's one more thing Robert Kiyosaki never says in this book, in the whole series. That is, his brand is Rich Dad and Poor Dad, but he never says who is his rich dad. No one knows who is Rich Dad. Thank you for watching the video. I'll see you next week with more video. I love you. Take care of yourself. Namaste.